Yo, back like we never left. Yo, welcome once again, listeners, to another episode of Real Talk Beyond the Headlines. It's your boy Hirsch with.
Your boy Tunde. Yeah, I am coming to you live from Washington, D.C., the nation's capital. And Herschel's coming to you live from the best city in the world, Atlanta, Georgia. If you guys have been tuning in lately, you'll know that I don't live in Atlanta anymore. And soon I won't be living in DC either. Yeah.
Bruh, young world traveler. I see you, man.
Well, I just want to say that I actually don't like traveling. No, I like traveling. I like being in places, but air travel, waiting, packing, all that sucks. But I have to do that again to take my talents to the Northeast, to Boston, where I'll be a PhD student in counseling psychology. Uh,
Hey, hey,
Got to go
yeah.
ahead and get those air horns in, But that's my future. This is a dream of mine, and I'm happy to see it realized. So we out here trying to do big things. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that right, Herschel?
Very much so, very much so. So I think the first thing we should probably do is just, I guess that's a pretty good recap for you. If you had some other stuff to add in, we can just update the fans on what's going on with us. And then we can get into some of the hot shit we got today. I think we were mentioning like we got a pretty good list of get your mans that need to get got. We got some unpopular opinions on the docket today. So it's gonna be some good stuff. It's gonna, I'm excited to record this shit with you, man.
Most
So
definitely. So let's start off with what's good in the hood. I mean, it's been a little minute since it was just me and Herschel recording. So, we got to update each other. We got to update the Real Talk Beyond the Headlines listeners. What's good in the hood?
bro. All right, so my birthday was last week. I'm an old man now, the ripe old age of 28. Always I do come out here and try to teach everything Tunde knows. Uh, I try to get him to respect his elders. He doesn't always.
Oh,
Sometimes
all
he
right.
does his own
Okay.
thing, but
Okay. Happy birthday, Herschel. Moving on. Moving on.
All right, so bruh, one, this episode is actually sponsored by Samsung. Had to go ahead and get that new phone, that iPhone, or that Samsung S9.
Oh,
That shit is clean to the motherfucker. It's very, very nice. It's got all the bells and whistles and shit. I don't care about what iPhones have these days. My phone is not being slowed down astronomically on some fuck shit. So
yo,
don't
like
at me.
on
Any of
some
y'all
real
iPhone users, don't at me.
shit, man. Like Apple is just been getting a lot of bad press, like with the slowing down nonsense. Also, apparently there's like a character that iPhones can't process. So I was like, I've been
Mm-hmm.
tweeting the character a little bit to screw around with some iPhone users, but I don't understand like how you could choose iPhone over all the other products available. And also shout out to the S9. I got the S8, but the S9 looks like it's definitely got the specs. It's faster, got all the good stuff going on. So that's what's up, man. I'm definitely gonna be looking out for that S10. Unless
Oh yeah.
HTC wants to step their game up again finally.
Man, I'm kind of disappointed. They started to fall off, man. I don't know what they're doing. They had like an S or a HTC 11, and I think there's a 12 coming out, like a U12. But even reading about those, like, I just really wasn't sold on it. I was like, man, I might as well go ahead and go with a big brand. Hit them with Samsung, match my TVs and my sound bars and my tablets and shit like that. Sync it up. So, but
Hey,
yeah.
Samsung, if you want to send us some free products, we are here for it. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so bruh, on my birthday was Tuesday. My girl took me to a comedy show, right? I had never been to a comedy show before. It was an open mic night at this little spot called Cat's Cafe here in Atlanta. So there's
Okay.
some funny folks. But like, so I took the whole week off for work. Now, I am also still in school getting my master's in public health right now, biostatistics. It's mad nerdy. I
Pew,
love
pew, pew,
numbers, so we out here
pew.
getting into it. Yeah,
Air horns, baby.
ain't no PhD shit, but that may be the next step. But so I leave class on Tuesday, right? I leave a little bit early, like an hour early. I just duck out, like fuck that shit. I ain't learning nothing anyway in this next hour. We go to the comedy club. Tell me why I see my goddamn professor getting ready to be in the open mic night.
Oh my
And this
God.
guy, bruh, he's a black dude. He's from like St. Louis or whatever. This man's name is Weight Ball. He does look like he weighs a good 400 pounds, like really. But he has some good jokes, man. I'm not gonna get into his set or nothing like that. But like the shit was
Wow.
just hilarious. Oh
Bro,
my
that is
god.
crazy.
Yes.
So, what does he teach?
Environmental health. He has a PhD himself. Like he's well educated. Cool dude. The course is more so like an overview of like, all right, yeah, you just need to understand the impact that shit in the environment can have on you. So he just goes to PowerPoint slides, da da da. But also like it's because it's a boring class, he recognizes that from the students, so he's always cracking jokes. He's always talking shit. Anytime some student comes in and tries to ask him some dumb shit, he'll like flip it on him and be like, "Oh, so you asked me that question because you probably didn't read, huh? Oh, you definitely read. So I'm definitely asking you since you brought this information to me." And like he goes in, he does a
Yeah.
pretty good job of it. But
Wow. So this dude
yeah, man,
was in the freaking random ass comedy show, your first ever.
first ever,
And he was
crazy.
and wait. This is the professor that you left. Like you left his class and went to Cat's
I left
Cafe
early.
and he was there.
Yes, it was wild. He dapped
Wow.
me up and stuff, got me a drink because I was like, "Yo, it's my birthday." He was like, I was dressed to the nines, of course, birthday suit and shit. Yeah, man, it was cool. It was a good time. I don't know what the fuck he's gonna say on Tuesday. I have a presentation in that class actually, and I might like. I don't know if I should like throw jabs at him and like talk shit about his show or his presentation at the comedy club, or if that'll get some points off, or maybe like I can just slack now and yeah, I gave him some extra laughs and stuff. I told the people around me like, yeah, that dude funny, yeah. Try to hype him up a little bit. So
Yeah.
maybe he'll return the favor on my grade. But yeah, that shit was cool, man. Shit was cool.
That is random as fuck, man. But yeah, that's cool, man. That's what Real Talk Beyond the Headlines is about. Just random shit, I guess.
Yeah, just on some wild, just craziness. But yo, so aside from that, like I wanted to ask, what kind of stuff are you listening to and or watching right now to update the fans?
Most definitely. I've been dibble dabbling a little bit in like
Little dib dab.
dib dab, you know what I'm saying? In some I guess you call it like electro music or whatever. I'm not gonna get too much into it, but there's an artist called Toki Monster based out of Atlanta. Um, yeah, she like I saw her at Milk and Cookies Fest, featuring Catronata for my
Okay.
26th birthday 2 years ago or about 2 years ago. So I followed her on Instagram. She dropped her album recently. It was good. It's got like some vibes. Just got a good flow. There's this artist called No MB that dropped the album. Listen to him. He's got a little bit of a R&B electro mix. Just double dabbling, but I always got to go back to the hip hop, trap.
Of
That's where
course.
my heart is musically the most. That song Power Glide, uh, freaking Ray Shremmerd. I feel like it's like Sway Lee and Slim Jimmy now. Like they don't go by Ray Shremmerd anymore. I don't know, but that
They
song goes
solo, but they together.
right. I don't know, man. That song goes very hard. Mike Will made it. Like Metro Boomin, and this is a little bit of a hot take. Metro Boomin has had like a lot of press lately. He's been on a lot of tracks and he's been on a tear, musically. Like he's produced for so many people, but I think that Mike Will still is the best producer in the game. You know what I'm saying? If you guys get a chance, listen to that song Aries with Sway Lee and Slim Jimmy and Big Sean and Pharrell. That song goes hard and it's like, I don't know, man. Mike Will drops mixtapes. I don't know if people listen to him, but he drops mixtapes. He has a bunch of features, kind of like DJ Khaled. Like all the songs go hard. So that's my hot take, man. Mike Will made it is still the best hip hop producer in the game. Metro definitely had his time, and at one point he was the best when he was, messing with Drake a lot. But Mike Will like has nonstop produced tracks, and Ray Shremmerd is eating off of that. So, that's just my little input musically.
Okay. What have I been listening to recently? Yesterday, I just listened to Cardi B's new album, and I was ready to hate. Fans, guys. I'm a hater. I'm gonna let y'all know. Like, I'm prepared to hate on any type of bullshit, any fuck shit, If it's not going perfect, like I'm a find the flaws. This Cardi B album is really good. That all that being said, I fucks with this Cardi B album. I'm not gonna lie. She goes in, she goes harder than any Nicki Minaj tape I ever heard. She has brought somebody, whoever her ghostwriter is, they are snapping. Her delivery is what it really is. And I know the public education system didn't teach her that sentence structure and some of these vocabulary words, but she is doing the damn thing on that album. I definitely would say check it out. For all our feminists out there, it's definitely strong. Sex positive, like she goes in. She might steal your girl and your man. So
Oh, okay.
you gotta watch out.
So yeah, I was like ready to hate on the Cardi B album, also because like Cardi B's been a good artist since she came out with Bodak Yellow, and like she's done her thing. She's dropped tracks. She's like had a great media presence. She's connected with a lot of other musicians, Bruno Mars, Migos. So she's like really built her brand. But my knock on Cardi B is that nothing that she's done or produced has even come close to Bodak Yellow. Like Bodak Yellow was just like so hard, such a good track. It was so popular last summer that, I just couldn't really see how she could transcend that. But she's hustled. That's the thing. Like she's hustled. She's come out with tracks. She's like been in the media. Like her Instagram is popping. You know what I'm saying? So my thing was with this album is like, is she really gonna come hard? Is she gonna have like good tracks? And I haven't listened to it yet, but according to you saying that like she did her thing. So I'm looking forward to like hearing the next evolution of Cardi B past Bodak Yellow, because I still think that song still kind of defines her career right now, but she's
Mm-hmm.
like she's doing so much more that's not going to last too much longer.
Yeah, I totally feel you. But like you never know. We've had so many flash in the pan artists even here from Atlanta that like who knows? She's got at least the boost of like I'm from New York, so there's already several million people who are gonna be fucking with me. So even if
Yeah.
like nobody nowhere else fucks with you, she's gonna be some kind of trending and is able to build off of that. So I mean, more power to her. But yeah, it's a couple of other music things out right now, but and I know we've got some listeners that think they're young niggas in the game, just always staying up on shit. But I'm old, man. I can't do it anymore. I can't be with Moneybag Yo's and the goddamn Rich Boy Broke Boy, goddamn all these young 17-year-old rappers talking about how much money they got, knowing damn well they still ask their mama for lunch money before they go to school. I'm not here for none of that.
Right, right.
Okay, I am. I lied. I do like that shit. I do like that shit.
Yeah, it's
But
it's just like you said, flash in the pan. Like some people come out with a hot track. You fuck with it, you ride with it, they move on. Like this dude, Block Boy JB. No hate to Block Boy JB, but his song blew the fuck up with Drake on it. What's that song called?
about Look Alive.
Yeah, that song goes so hard, but the
Yeah.
whole like first 3 quarters of the track is just Drake.
It's Drake. Yeah, it's a Drake song, and you're like, yo, who is this guy? But also, it's smart on Drake to be like, I'm gonna stay relevant by fucking with these young people too.
Right.
Like you can't escape me. Like Wayne put me on all these tracks. I'm gonna get on all these other tracks. Like it's the same game. Speaking of Drake though, you saw that video, the brand new Like It Was, I think is the name of it. It's another like upbeat like
Yeah. It's
not
called
like
it's called freaking What's the Point of Being Nice or some shit like that.
that's not the name.
I don't know, man. Niggas is old. Niggas is old, man.
Nice for what? Nice for what is what
Right.
it's called.
Right.
Yeah. But like yeah, it's some similar like God's Plan vibes in the video. He's got some dope people in there just dancing around, hanging out and stuff. I mean it's cool, and obviously Drake has his finger on the pulse, like he's connecting with us and stuff. I mean shit. In the God's Plan song, he's got the line, "I feel good sometimes I don't." Like that's probably the realest shit I've ever heard any rapper say about like just some. I mean sure it's millennial as fuck, but like yo, we got feelings, and we
Yeah.
millennials are gonna tell you about them. Like I think that's amazing. He's able to do it and like still make fun of himself, be cool. It is what it is. I know some Drake haters out there, them old heads. Your time is past. Y'all can go ahead get up out the paint, but it's cool.
Yeah, Drake, man, he does his thing. I got a lot of respect for Drake, because he's remained relevant for so many years. he doesn't really stop with the music. Like he doesn't drop an album all the time, but he's always on people's tracks, always making music, always doing concerts. Like he stays very relevant. He's good. You know, got a lot of love for Drake. I haven't seen the video, but I'll check it out at some point. You know, these recent tracks I haven't like, you know, really been vibing with, like God's Plan. This one, nice for whatever it's called. You know, but I still feel like, you know, the Drake presence. Hey, you know what? I'm a hater too sometimes, you know. Real talk beyond the headlines. We some haters.
Yo,
But
yeah, that's good stuff though. Go ahead.
yeah, so you know, we talked about music. What's good with the viewing that you've been participating in of television and movies?
So of course, we're a couple months late, but you know, Wakanda forever will always be here. I definitely did watch a bootleg last night. I was drunk. I was like, damn, I want to watch some dope shit, and I just watched like the first like 20 or 30 minutes and then fell asleep. But
Okay. Okay.
shit's made of Billy. Shit's great. There's a couple of like discussions and podcasts and shit like that talking about like since we were discussing music, one of the composers for it, he's this either he's German or South African or something like that. His name's Ludwig something or other. But like he went to like Senegal and got all of these like samples and shit like that and tried to figure out what kind of sound he wanted each character to have and shit like that. And he made the comparison of like for this soundtrack, it's Bach meets Metro Boomin. And like just that quote, I was like, wow, this is And I hope everybody after having seen the movie has gone back to listen to the album, Kendrick's curated album, which is incredible. And once you like have seen the movie and kind of really sit down and listen into it, it definitely had like a deeper impact than initially, where it was just, oh yeah, this is a bunch of songs, basically another Kendrick tape with a bunch of features. You really feel it. You really feel it. I feel like.
Yeah, I the movie was great. You know, I did like the soundtrack. I do have a quick hot take about Black Panther slash unpopular opinion. Real talk beyond the headline listeners, please don't roast me up. Actually, do roast me up. Roast me up
At
on
your
our
name,
Twitter.
what's your Twitter?
Hit us up on the Real Talk Twitter at Real Talk BTH, or you can hit me up on my Twitter at Baba_Tune at BABA_TOON. But my hot take is that outside of the cultural impact of Black Panther, outside of the Afro, or I don't know what word I'm looking for, but Afro cultural messages within the whole entire film, it's just an okay movie. It's just alright in my opinion. Like, look, it's a Marvel film. It's got Marvel superheroes. It's got a regular ass Marvel plot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just an okay movie. Like, you know, it's
Yeah.
probably like I don't necessarily see it as being better than Winter Soldier. I really like that film. I have not even seen Civil War. I can't lie, but I heard that was.
What?
I know, man. I'm slacking hard on my Marvel game right now. I have not seen so many Marvel films. I haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I haven't seen Ant-Man. I haven't seen Doctor Strange. I haven't seen Thor Ragnarok, man. I'm definitely slacking hard on that Marvel game. But Black Panther, like overall as a film, as a standalone film, regardless of any Afro American, you know, cultural messages or the displays of African American culture and African culture also, it's just a regular ass film in my opinion. You know, hit me up on the Twitter. Say what you got to say at me. I don't give a
Yeah,
fuck.
y'all roast this man up, please. Somebody. Oh my God. I don't know who this guy thinks he is. Oh, what the fuck?
Look,
There
you
was
know,
so many deep ass themes in there. It was fatherhood. There was some skin tone stuff. There was commentaries on facial hair.
look,
Everybody with facial hair was like real. I definitely was a kid in the barbershop one time. Somebody was like, "Yeah, man, you never trust no black man without any facial hair." That this movie embodied that. Your boy Killmonger's father didn't have no facial hair when he was out here betraying people. But then when you see him later, he got the whole soul patch and the mustache and the goatee and all of this and that.
Herschel.
Yo, you overlooking these important themes,
Herschel,
man.
listen to me, man. Listen, look, you know how I am with films. I'm critiquing it in every capacity, every scene. As soon as I see one scene that doesn't make any sense, I'm off it. Let me give you an example. So when, by the way, spoiler alert, when the Black Panther was defeated by Killmonger, by the way, that was a fair match, and Black Panther squarely lost, but different story, different day. he got thrown off the waterfall, the cliff, whatever, and then he got found by the other random tribe, which I believe were modeled after Nigerians. He just got found. Like what? This nigga didn't go through no struggle. This nigga gets thrown off a whole waterfall, and he just gets found. Like no, there's no scene to at least display how he was recovered. Like, come on.
Listen, man, they had to cut some stuff out. When I buy that extended cut, I'll let you know what happens when he falls off the waterfall. I'll watch it and I'll break it down. I'll send you a podcast, bro. Don't worry.
All right. Well, you know what? I don't want to minimize what Black Panther has done culturally in society. I think it has really brought, from an entertainment perspective, Black identity and African American culture to the forefront, as it has with a lot of other things, with like Black Lives Matter and the whole cop shooting conversation. I think it's like, a lot of African American issues are finally starting to be brought to the forefront. So I don't want to minimize that. Black Panther definitely was a fantastic film, and I actually just saw a headline in one of my random, news apps on my phone that Black Panther is now the third highest grossing film of all time, which is unbelievable. It surpassed Titanic. So that is unbelievable. Shout out to the whole Black Panther, crew, Michael B. Jordan, Chadwick Boseman, Lupita Nyong'o, the director whose name
Ryan Coogler.
Yeah, Ryan Coogler. They are all doing really important things for African American culture and identity. So outside of the fact that it was an okay movie, good stuff.
See, y'all, I've only heard bad things about the movie from Africans.
Oh, really?
I just want to say that.
Oh, wow.
I've only heard bad things from you people over here hating because Killmonger was whooping that ass. He wanted to fight fair and square. I relate to that.
We're not gonna make this film divisive, so fuck that. Moving on. Yo, so let's talk a little bit of Netflix, man. There are a lot of documentaries on Netflix that I've been fucking with heavy lately. Okay. One is Wild Wild Country. It's about like this sort of like religious cult movement or whatever. They move into some random ass like rural area in Oregon, and then all the white people there start getting a fuss. But it's just like this weird documentary about like this religious cult and like all the shit that they went through trying to like create their own, space in Oregon, and it was just a lot of shit going on. Herschel, you ain't seen it? You ain't seen the trailers?
I have.
Oh, you watched it?
Yeah, the basketball expert actually put me on a week or two ago. He was telling me about it, and I definitely had to check it out. And yeah, that dude was weird. I forget the guy's name, but he was like
Bhagwan.
Yeah, exactly. That shit was weird, man. I was like, I was fascinated. I was absolutely fascinated. I feel like learning about eccentrics like that is always interesting, and it was really interesting to me to learn about the people surrounding him that were kind of like making it possible. That woman that was his right hand,
Sheila.
I didn't finish. But,
okay.
What were you saying?
Her name is Sheila.
Yeah.
Speaking of her, one thing I really liked about the documentary series was that her full name Ma Anand Sheila. She had like a very strong feminist personality. Like she literally straight up gave the entire sort of like this probably isn't the best way of saying it, but like white supremacist culture that pretty much dictates all of America. Like she gave it a huge fuck you, Everything that she was doing with Bhagwan when they were trying to set up their religious community or whatever was legal, but a lot of the white people in the surrounding areas were trying to stop that and oppose them. And she like gave them a straight fuck you instead of like, like she wasn't attacking, but when they attacked her, she came for them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I remember in one of the interviews in the documentary, definitely go watch it. Spoiler alert. This is Real Talk Beyond the Headlines. Always coming to you with those fire suggestions for that Netflix. But in one of the documentaries, they were like interviewing her and saying, oh yeah, we heard Bhagwan has like between 5 and 15 Rolls Royces. And she was like, no, Bhagwan is about to get his 20th Rolls Royce. Like she was just like,
damn,
yeah. I really liked her personality. It was a strong feminist personality. Like she was his right hand woman. And she was just like, look, we're here, we're gonna do what we want, and we're gonna fight you guys. So it was cool. Definitely go check it out. She's a little bit of a controversial character, but overall, I really loved her character inside the documentary, and you know, that's what's up.
Yo, so I know I made this suggestion to you a couple of weekends ago. This show is actually wrapped up now, so you should be able to go binge it either on FX or elsewhere. I mean, I guess you could pirate it. I want you to support this show because this shit was great. But FX's interface is trash. I will just tell you, and that goes for Atlanta, that goes for Legion. But this particular show is the assassination of Gianni Versace. That shit is incredible. I love stories about like serial killers and like people who have some kind of mental detachment from the world and like, they created some form of history. And spoiler alert, Versace dies first episode. But I gotta tell you, Gianni Versace is like the least important character in the show. After like 2 or 3 episodes, you forget the show is about Versace, except once in a while they'll flashback and show him doing this or that. But the serial killer Andrew Cunanan and that guy, the actor, I don't know what anything else he's from or anything. He holds it down the entire time. Like he had a body count. He made you feel emotion. I don't want to spoil any of it. They get into like some of his family life, how he was raised. The guy is he's half not Indonesian, half Filipino. He's half Filipino. So his dad was an immigrant. You see how that plays into his life. At a point, he goes back to the Philippines to kind of find something. I don't want to tell you. I can't spoil it. I cannot spoil it. But y'all gotta watch that shit. It's a great conversation to lead into the conversation about mental health. But yeah, the clothes are obviously lit because I mean it's Versace. Like that was one thing. I was looking at all the backgrounds, every outfit everybody had on. I was like, damn, this shit is clean as fuck. I need to go shopping. God damn. But
Right.
it was pretty cool. Definitely check it out.
That's dope. I wanted to watch it, but I heard from another person that it just started off kind of slow. So I was like, I kind of held off, but at the same time, I like, dramas. I like dramas about killing.
I gotta tell you, that person lied. It starts off with Versace getting blasted in the head. There's no way it's slow. And again, that's not a spoiler alert. That's what happened to you, man. So
Right.
it's in the title.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out, and then we will reconvene the next time we are recording on Real Talk Beyond the Headlines. Hashtag RTBTH. Always feel free to hit us up on the social medias and let us know what you think of it. Okay, before we get into our mental health conversation, I have one quick unpopular opinion. I know Herschel is about to roast me all the way up, but the reason why I thought of it is because you can find FX shows on Hulu. Is that right? I believe that's right.
That's correct.
And this other show, which is a Cartoon Network show, can also be found on Hulu. Rick and Morty, that's a show. And my unpopular opinion is that I don't need season 4. Just stop it. Just stop Rick and Morty. The reason why is because Rick and Morty is the toughest, hardest show to get content. I don't know, I forget what year they came out, but season 2 ended in like 2016? Season 3 just came out?
I think like 2014 season 2 ended.
Really?
And it might have started in 2014, and then like they did one the following year, 2015, and then they didn't do another one till 2017.
Right, and then I saw somewhere online that Rick and Morty season 4 isn't due until 2014. 2019. Season 3 is not on Hulu yet. I don't have cable, so I don't know if they're showing reruns, but like Rick and Morty is so hard to consume. It is so hard to they don't have that much content. They have like these random stuff that they do. Like they had like a little bit of a partnership with Logic, the rapper, which we can go into a whole podcast about him, but different day, different story. They tease with like random stuff, but I'm like, yo, are y'all gonna drop the shows or not? It's like Game of Thrones, but Game of Thrones is different. They spent $1 million per episode on Game of Thrones. They have the right to hold their content. Rick and Morty, they have 30 episodes in like 4 years, 5 years of production. Like, look, I fucks with Rick and Morty heavy, Herschel. I'm not trying to minimize the quality of the show, but look, if y'all don't want to come out with season 4 and y'all just want to end the show, I'm okay with it. I don't need Rick and Morty in my life because there's barely any content to consume. Herschel. What you got to say about that? What you
Wow.
got to say, man?
Wow.
You know that I'm right, though. You know that I'm right.
No. First and foremost, what you can do on your tablet or like on your phone, it doesn't work on a laptop or desktop computer. You can go to the Adult Swim app and you can stream straight, like continuously, Rick and Morty, Robot Chicken, whatever. No commercials. It just plays them through all the way continuously, over and over and over, all episodes.
Can you
Yes,
pick?
it's
Can
all
you
there.
choose which episode?
No, but I got pirated sites for that, so I'm
No,
just saying.
Herschel. Not everyone pirates content. Okay, not everyone pirates content, and I stopped pirating content because everything is like like between Hulu, Netflix, Amazon, and whatever HBO. Like you can get everything nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not pirating, how can you get Rick and Morty? Rick and Morty season 3 is not on Hulu. Just so you know.
It's not on Hulu at all?
No, it's not on Hulu.
Well, I'm sorry to hear. Man, that's again Hulu and all that bullshit's fault. That is the same issue that FX has, where content is not going up. They're all at war with Netflix. I know actually in other countries they have Rick and Morty up on Netflix. It's just like American deals and shit that make it fall through. That's the real problem here. I'm sorry, it's too difficult for you to get, and you don't have no patience to wait for this next season to come out. I'm sorry you missed this current season. I know some people who might say you're on that broke boy stuff if you don't want to go ahead and get the cable so you can get it on demand and be good. But I also do not have cable. I don't believe in that shit either. If I can get it for free or if I have a good means of acquiring something, I'm going to do that every time. It's always going to be that Cold War back and forth. They're going to stop me from pirating. They're going to shut down a site. All right, I'm going to find a new one. Or I'm gonna do something. It's gonna be a bootleg man outside. I'm gonna figure it out. I don't give a fuck.
Look,
Sorry.
I understand.
Sorry, not sorry.
I understand. I ended up downloading Rick and Morty season 3, but I actually waited. I was like, all right, I'm gonna check Hulu, like once a week, because I'm not trying to pirate. Like if I can just get it on one of these, platforms, I'd rather just watch it that way. And they make it so much more simpler on the platforms to like use the content, but Rick and Morty is too complicated. Like season 2 or 3 ended in 2017, and we can't expect season 4 until, according to something I saw on Instagram, fall 2019. Like that's crazy.
I'm okay with waiting for quality. I can wait for quality. We're waiting for this Game of Thrones, and Rick and Morty is the Game of Thrones of the cartoon adult world.
Herschel,
that's what that is. It's amazingness. Every episode is like, wow, damn, that was really great. That made me think. They discuss mental health and illness there. They address alcoholism. They address stupid ass kids and their grandfathers running around doing wild stuff. They address divorce in the home. They address these real life situations. That's some real shit, Tunde. Sorry, you gotta wait for it. Everything can't be SpongeBob just running around willy nilly with Patrick doing dumb shit, jumping on hooks and getting their ass whooped every day.
Look,
it all can't be Dragon Ball Z where everybody's powering up for 37 episodes, Tune. I'm sorry.
Look, man. Look, like I said, I will enjoy it when it comes out, but only one show has a right to keep fans waiting. That's Game of Thrones, and that's because they spend $1 million plus per episode. So, that's just all I got to say. That's my unpopular opinion. And that's just what it is. Like that's the unpopular opinion.
Okay, you're entitled to your opinion. That's okay. You're wrong, but you're entitled to your opinion. But yeah, let's is this a good time to jump into get your mans? I've got a list here for you. I know you know a couple of these names on the list.
Yeah, let's get your mans.
I'm about to get up in it. All right. Do you want to go first with the first one that you listed?
Yeah, this one, I would say it has more to do with the person who is doing the getting rather than the person who actually is gonna get got. Anyway, so Zlatan Ibrahimovic has joined the Los Angeles Galaxy of the Major League Soccer League. I know that don't make no sense, but and if you guys haven't seen the goal, you need to go see the goal. Just type Google into Google Zlatan Ibrahimovic first goal MLS or Zlatan Ibrahimovic first goal LA Galaxy. His first goal in the MLS was unbelievable from about a good 50 meters, almost from half field, he scored. But the person who has to get your man's Los Angeles Galaxy, your goalie. What the fuck were you doing?
Yeah, he just got caught up in the lights, man. That shit looked really. I don't know. He got caught by the star power. I'll add when Zlatan first got to the LA Galaxy, he took out a full page ad in the newspaper that said it didn't say, "Oh, you're welcoming me." It was like, "LA, welcome to Zlatan." That's how this guy rolls. That's how he rolls every which way. Which that's why I love. He's one of my favorite soccer players. So.
Right, right. Yeah, that Zlatan has a little bit of that cocky attitude, but he backs it up with some extreme play. I actually was watching the game. I saw the goal happen when it happened. I was actually in Las Vegas chilling with some homies, so it was like I guess Las Vegas kind of like supports the LA MLS teams, but it was on TV. He actually scored another goal to bring the LA Galaxy for the win. He scored the winning goal. The LA Galaxy were down 0-3. His first goal was a first goal, I think. I think LA scored two more goals, and then Zlatan scored one more goal with a header. Two goals in his first MLS game. Like, it's crazy. Zlatan is like, he just came out and like stunning on them because he's a European football player, whereas the whole MLS is like basically trash. I mean, it's fun to watch, but as far as actual talent, they're at the bottom of the league. Which brings me to something that I had thought of. We wanted Zlatan to come to Atlanta last year because we were like, all right, he's starting to fall off a little bit, playing European ball. He was with Manchester United. Like, do you remember that, Herschel? Like, we were like, yo, he should just retire international, come play MLS and stunt. But he chose to go to the Los Angeles Galaxy.
It's his loss. You see how good Atlanta's team is. Hopefully, we'll be going back to the playoffs this season. Their inaugural season was incredible. They did get knocked out in the first round. Just continuing the Atlanta curse, just so we know it's real. They're a real, legit Atlanta squad, not coming out here winning championships off the bat. So we can really get behind it. Yeah, this past season was pretty good. Hopefully, they can get back to the playoffs. And hopefully, Zlatan and other players just boosting the profile of MLS in general makes the whole encompassing of American soccer better. Yeah, we missed the World Cup this year, so we're definitely trash. But I guess for the past 20 years now they've been saying that soccer has been growing as a sport in America, but we'll see. It is what it is. But yeah, man, you ready for this next Get Your Mans?
Let's get it.
All right, so now your boy, the assistant coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Tyronn Lue, has been out for a little bit. He had some health issues that pulled him away. He recently came back this week. I think maybe just earlier this week. He had his first press conference. He sits down with and listeners, I need y'all to Google this clip because the audio of it is hilarious. We're gonna try to play it for y'all now, but you got to see this man's facial expressions. You need to drink it all in, pun intended, when you see the clip. So,
man, mother.
Exactly how you drew it up.
I got a lot of talking to do tonight. I'm ready.
So he sits with a reporter. So yeah, this is like a 10-minute clip. He sits down. Reporter's like, "Welcome back," and he sits down and just, man, muffa, and then stops himself. He was ready to let one go, let a true Samuel L. Jackson motherfucker let go on live TV and all of that. He had to stop, just take a long sip of water, just recollect himself. And I just gotta say, Tyronn Lue, whose man's is this, man? What are you doing out here? You done had time off to recollect your thoughts. What are you doing, bro? You know you're already on thin ice with LeBron, who doesn't know what your future is. I hope the best for you. I do wish you the best, but looks like these are definitely not helping your situation. But to wrap it up, that's a quick one. Get your man, Tyronn Lue. What are you doing?
Tyronn Lue, man. Whose man's is Tyronn Lue's? Get your man's. But also, happy that he's back. I cannot imagine what it's like coaching in the NBA coaching LeBron James, having coached Kyrie Irving. So I'm happy that he's back.
Yeah.
But clearly he gives no fucks anymore.
All right, so I'm hoping you have a little more information on this one than I do. Like I have some gossip and some hearsay and shit like that. But my next whose man's is this is the one and only Conor McGregor. What the fuck is this guy doing out here, man? Please, Tunde, can you enlighten us?
Well, for people who don't know, who may not follow MMA too much, Conor McGregor went on a rampage the day of the press media conference for UFC 200 something, I don't know. But the most recent pay-per-view for UFC, he like threw a dolly at a bus and broke the window, and like the glass cut one of the fighters who fought yesterday, or he may have actually been pulled out. Um, Definitely do your UFC research to figure it out. But Conor McGregor went on a rampage. He got arrested. He was charged with a couple misdemeanors, and I believe he was charged with the felony, like in New York. And New York don't play when it comes to like assault charges. You know what I'm saying? I hear that New York is one of the toughest places for gun ownership. I just I really 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 like Conor McGregor. Like I've always supported him. He always has like such a very strong positive attitude with his craft, and he kind of encourages people to have that attitude with anything they do. And I adopt that sometimes in my own work. I have a lot of respect for Conor McGregor, but this particular situation I do not understand. Is there anything that can explain it, Herschel?
Mans is a clown. I'm actually watching the video of it right now. Like, I'm sure part of it was him thinking, oh, I'm a master of building hype for these events. If I create a news story, it's only going to be positive. It's only going to be good. And I mean, he still kind of doesn't even really lose anything. He exudes more of a bad boy persona. He actually just got out this morning on 50 grand bail. Like today, they just released him. But this shit is ridiculous, man. Like, you're a clown. I can't imagine what kind of wild shit they would have done if this had been Mayweather, who is also a master of like building up hype for events, but he knows where to draw that line. He knows like if that had been him, they could have easily justified 6 shots in the back. So I don't know what to say. Connor, this is not Ireland. You can't just be a hoodlum out here with hella goons and stuff out here. Clearly, America's not trying to give up their Second Amendment right. Somebody might draw on you. You keep wilding like this, man. I don't know. I still think he knew like the environment he was in. Like there was a crowd around him. Like he was performing to me still. So maybe that justified. It doesn't justify it, but that kind of tells me why he might have thought it was a good idea to do. He's a grown ass man. What the fuck are you doing? Sure, you probably got CTE because you got busted in the head so many times. But come on, my dude. Like, what the fuck? And you can't make money behind bars. Like that's counterintuitive. No matter what you're doing, no matter how you make your money, that's not
Yeah.
how it works. So
I mean, I think the only thing that's for certain about this particular situation is that only time will tell. I mean, Skip Bayless on Skip and Shannon on Fox Sports 1 said that this was just like a hype thing, for a potential Floyd Mayweather Conor McGregor octagon fight, or maybe whatever Conor McGregor's next octagon fight is going to be, is just hype media, kind of like the Trumpian, any press is good press sort of.
yeah,
But like, I'm not a manager, I'm not an agent, I'm not a public relations specialist, but I could probably think of a good 10 different things he could have done that wouldn't get you arrested and also wouldn't put you in a negative light that could garner press. Like, I don't understand. This is the worst form of press like attention that you could get. I mean, yes, his attention. He's getting a lot of press. He's getting a lot of coverage. I saw on Twitter that people who are really into UFC, like they have, like been pretty much enthralled by this. But I don't know. Like I just feel like there's so many other things he could have done. So all of Ireland, Dana White, shit, Floyd Mayweather, the whole UFC, get your man's.
get your man's, please.
Yeah.
Yo, but thank you for also bringing up Skip and Shannon because that definitely leads me into my next one. But I gotta ask you, man, How many uncles do you have?
I would say about three that I have a bunch of uncles, man. You know,
And I'm sure people
Nigeria.
that your family just calls them uncles, but they're
Right,
not
right.
actually related and shit like that. You
Yeah.
got any uncles that remind you of Shannon Sharp? Probably coming in
No.
smelling hot breath, just like Black and Miles and Hen Dog, like he likes to admit to Skip all the time. I'm sure he always got Skip under pressure, just breathing across the table. I'm certain that shit is rough. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Definitely for me, that's an uncle I would love to hate. Like, yeah, he has hilarious takes. He's a good time, but like he's also the one coming around trying to give you advice on some shit you don't need no help on. Like, oh well, what you know about them girls, boy? I'm gonna teach you something. We're going to the strip club tonight.
But you know about
What
that
we
hen
love, little
dog.
fella. Yeah, I imagine that's definitely him all day, every day. He's from some back country of Georgia somewhere, so I would not even be surprised. I got a lot of relatives that are very similar. Still love him, but that's how it be. So I gotta say, Skip, get your mans to Shannon, but I do love you, Shannon. We're here for you.
Right. It's a weird catch 22 because
Yeah.
the show is hilarious and it's, hilarious a lot because of Shannon Sharp, but it's just like the only word I can really use to describe it is coonery. Even though I have a
Yeah.
lot of respect for Shannon Sharp and I know he's a very smart guy, but it's just like when he's talking about hen dog and smoking Black and Miles, even though I know he doesn't do either, because before any of this crap started, that man always used to talk about how he doesn't drink or smoke or anything.
You
But
think it's a persona? You think he's pretending to be Stephen A? He's a wild, drunk Stephen
Stephen
A?
A is not crazy. He doesn't do all right, maybe a little bit, but he doesn't talk about no hen dog, no Black and Miles, like, you know. So that's like it's like a get your man's, but also that's my man's. That's my man
Yeah.
Shannon, man. Keep doing your thing, but also Fox Sports One, Skip, shoot, Stephen A. Smith, man, get your man's.
I agree. I agree. Okay, so for the next one we have up, so about 2014, I believe this occurred. Uh, Cam Newton was in a car accident in North Carolina. He actually flipped his truck. He had to be hospitalized. There wasn't like really any details on if it was his fault he got in the accident or anything like that. But the update to this Get Your Mans, this past week, your boy Cam Newton in Atlanta in another car accident. Once again, he apparently wrecked his Ferrari into a dump truck. I thought this one was actually really hilarious just from the report alone. From the report, it says, quote, there is no word as to whether the Panthers' 2017 receiving core and offensive game plan being hauled in the back of that dump truck were also damaged. So Cam Newton is good, but his team is trash. Y'all need to get him some help up there. Jerry Richardson, who is up out the paint apparently. But my man, maybe you need to get a chauffeur or fucking figure that shit out, man. Because you can't just keep getting. You're a football player. Every play is a car accident for you. Don't make that shit even more difficult for you by getting into wrecks in the off season, bro. What the fuck?
Right, right. Yeah, man. Look, we've talked about this before, but I love the NFL and I love football, but I don't know, man. These guys do not make the best decisions. Like every single year, you can record like an hour, 2 hour long podcast of dumb shit NFL players do in the off season. We probably actually should do that right before the NFL season starts. It's like every year is just even before the draft. Always players who are getting drafted doing dumb shit. I remember a couple years ago, Julio Jones. Shout out to Julio. Got mad love for Julio, man. I know you got love for Julio. Shout out to the Atlanta Falcons, but I remember he like lost his really expensive ring in the bottom of an ocean or earring. Was it earring? In the
$1 million earring.
in the bottom of a lake. It's just like, yo, man, the NFL is awesome to watch. I love football. Playoff football is like one of the best times of the year. But yo, these niggas be doing dumb shit, man. For
But
real.
see, isn't part of that why we love so many of these NBA players? We get the insight into Swaggy P doing dumb shit. We get to see LeBron all emotional and banana boated up with his homies and stuff. Like we love that. It's just football players doing more stupid things and things that because it's a much more conservative league, they end up getting penalized for. Like if they didn't get penalized, like Ezekiel Elliott visited like some strip clubs and some weed dispensaries in Colorado, like right when he got drafted or right after or some shit like that. And I remember it being big news and like a bunch of people were upset and a whole bunch of hullabaloo. If we could have just let that go and just been like, oh yeah, he's a normal human being. He didn't get himself in trouble. He still passed all the tests. He was good. No harm, no foul. But we as conservative America can't have any of that coonery around our football. Sadly, I like the coonery. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
The rest, I don't know.
Well, you know what? As it usually tends to be when we do get your mans, somebody please get Cam Newton up out of the paint and back to being a A1 quarterback.
My man can't take Uber or nothing, man. Shit, come on.
I mean, he was riding a Ferrari. You know he got to ride the Ferrari, but even still, maybe he could get someone to drive the Ferrari.
Nah, you buy a Ferrari, you driving it yourself. That's got to be. I think it's in the contract, man. I don't know.
I understand that, but if I'm buying a Ferrari, I'm definitely not going to wreck it. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure that's also in the contract. So.
Mm-hmm. Normally they appreciate. I don't know what happens when you wreck a Ferrari. I don't know what kind of insurance that dump truck had or none of that. But
right.
I don't want to see any of that.
Anyway, with the NFL, I see you have another get your mans here. This one is a great one, and I'm gonna just let you take it away.
All right. So also that occurred this past month, the Ravens front office signed your boy RG3, who did not play for anybody last year. He was with the Browns for a little bit, then got injured. Reports are also saying that he injured his throwing hand signing the paperwork. Looks like he might be out 6 to 10 weeks. I don't know if that was false. I don't know, but I just think it's funny that one, they're giving this guy another chance, man. But my boy Cap can't get on the field for nothing, man. What the hell,
bro? I don't understand. The NFL free agency never makes any sense. First of all, we don't know if RG3, actually injured his hand. It's probably a false report. I'm sure it is. Haha. Hashtag LOL. But on some real shit, I will bet a good $100, $200 that he will be injured at some point this season. The last time he played, he got injured playing for the Browns on a non-contact injury in the freaking preseason or offseason, before preseason even started. Look, I'm sorry, RG3 is just way too injury prone. Why are the Ravens signing RG3 when Colin Kaepernick is still available? Colin Kaepernick has done way more than RG3. He doesn't have an injury history like RG3. He has not done anything to indicate that he's not capable of playing in the NFL. I know a lot of people like to say he's blackballed. Me personally, I think it's a combination of his protest and also his play in the last season. His last season for the Niners was not good. His season before that for the Niners was not good. But still, RG3, this dude has had 3 non-contact injuries. I just don't get it. So get your mans. Whoever, Ravens, the whole NFL, get your mans. Yeah, get the Ravens front office. Man, fuck that shit, man. I feel like that shit is so whack.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to get you wrapped up on that with you, man. All right, speaking of the Browns, we've got another get your mans here. So Joe Thomas, the longtime tenured, probably Hall of Fame left tackle, he's retired this year. That makes Josh Gordon the longest tenured Browns player on their team right now. That's incredible.
What?
Every other position has either rotated out, they gotten somebody new, or they kicked them out or traded them. They have no one else. And yes, Josh Gordon technically hasn't played that entire time, but we've seen the talent, so obviously they decided to stay to continue to sign him. But the Browns, what the fuck are y'all doing? Y'all couldn't find anybody in the past 4 years. I mean, not even just 4 years, 4 decades. Y'all can't put together any kind of squad worthwhile. You get one Joe Thomas, one Josh Gordon, one superstar every once in a blue, one Jim Brown. Is that all y'all are good for? What the fuck, man? I just don't understand it. I've tried to actually, with a little bit of my biostats background, there are algorithms and shit that you can build to essentially optimize your team. You could say, like they did with baseball and Moneyball, man, we see that this guy in this situation either strikes out, hits a home run, he plays like this. We can quantify it. With football, it's much more difficult to do, but they are trying. There are still trends that you can try to find. The Browns ain't found shit. They can't pull anybody in. Browns, hire me. I will write you a program. I'll figure it out. It might not work, but I bet it'll work better than what y'all are doing now.
For real.
That's all I know.
You know, I gotta say one thing, man. First of all, that's wild that Josh Gordon is the longest tenured player on the Browns squad right now. But with all the nonsense that Josh Gordon has gone through, and you know, I don't want to minimize whatever difficulties he's had, whether it be mental health difficulties or just situations with life, family, whatever. But like, why have they not dropped him? I understand that he's a talented ass receiver, but tell me if there's any other team in the league that would not have dropped his ass instantly after like the second situation. Like they've had this dude on their roster for a good 3 years and he hasn't played one snap. Like I don't understand, you know, it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, that alone is like mind-boggling. Even Alden Smith got multiple chances, but eventually people got fed up and were like, "Yo, you got to go, man."
Right.
So I mean, I guess yes, there's something to be said about like, okay, the talent is there. As long as the talent is there, it makes sense to keep that guy here and keep him on like a super inexpensive deal. But I don't know, man. It's not worth the trouble at some point. That's what the Browns need to figure out. But I think the ownership, I don't know well enough to say that they don't care. I think they do care. I don't think they're a franchise that's out here just, oh yeah, we're just gonna collect checks. People are gonna watch these games no matter what. NFL is making money. So we'll see. I do always hope for the Browns to be some kind of good each year. Thankfully, like even the Jags showed that you can turn it around even when you do have a trash quarterback. Like it's not all about that. You can build a team. You can build the defense. You can make the playoffs. You can almost beat Tom Brady unless he cheats. You know, it is what it is. So that's all I got for Get Your Mans this week. We got a couple of That's My Mans or, you know, a couple of shout outs and stuff that we can get to real quickly. And then I think we'll wrap this one up. What do you think?
Yeah, that's what it is. You know, That's My Man's basically is the opposite of Get Your Mans. You know, these are people that, you know, that we would be okay claiming to be our mans. So what you got, Herschel?
So first, your boy Tony Romo, who couldn't stand the heat down on the field. Dak took his job. You know, they took her jobs. Dak is now. Tony Romo is now in the booth, doing great analysis. He actually was nominated for an Emmy this year. We won't know, of course, until like the actual Emmy awards come out to see what goes on. So we'll really have to keep our eye on it to see if he's clutch. You know, we know how he is on the field, but it might be a little different in the booth. He's had a lot more success in terms of reading plays and shit. And people will say like, damn, dude, you're so good at reading these plays and predicting these plays now that you're up here, but you couldn't do that shit on the field? Like, what the fuck, man? You just called out their whole entire offense, defense, fucking audibles. Are you reading his lips? Like, what the fuck? But now, you know, we'll see. We'll see. What do you think of Romo as a commentator?
Man, like I did not watch too much football earlier, but I have heard the same thing about his ability to like really like describe the plays. Kind of like John Gruden, like he's just so good at football that he's also really good at communicating it to a large audience. But you know, as you said, it's Tony Romo clutch. You know, despite his ability to do all that, he always had an interception to mess all that up for you. So, as you said,
Yeah.
man, we'll see what he looks like off the field.
Okay. And for the last one, I just do want to give a shout out to the Rams front office for playing Madden in free agency this year. They look like they're trying to win right now with all their moves. They picked up yeah, I'm gonna snatch your chain, not once but twice, Aqib Talib, my new favorite player, just off the strength of that. I don't care how successful he is ever again, but that is amazing to me. They picked up Ndamukong Suh. They obviously have Ty Gurley. They just picked up Brandon Cooks. Who else? Who else am I missing? Their team was already playoff caliber, high caliber. They went toe to toe with the Falcons this year in the playoffs before losing. So I'm really excited for, you know, this new LA greatness. I think that'd be really cool to observe.
Right. Yeah, I've really liked the Rams because they got Sean McVay. Like he's like a really young coach, and they keep talking about he's like a football genius. And Jared Goff, UCal Berkeley, you know, I really tend to support the Bay Area teams, except you know those trash bags that call themselves Warriors. Anyway, different story, different day. Y'all know how I feel. You know, like I really like what the Rams have done. And Ndamukong Suh plus Aaron Donald, I mean, like unstoppable, unstoppable. Only thing I have to say is if they don't win the Super Bowl, is a fail. It is a fail, straight up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I feel like they put the pressure on themselves by making these moves, by playing good. They got Todd Gurley, you know, he's been balling out. Not the season before this one, but he balled out this season. The season prior to when his rookie season he bought out. Jared Goff, you know, he's like played better this season. He's like a legit, like, you know, starting, not quite elite, but right there on the cusp of elite quarterback in the NFL. So, you know, Jared Goff definitely, the Rams definitely, they have a good chance, but they have to win it. They have to win it. So yeah, you know, those are our takes. Back like we never left. You know, we are living in different parts of the country, but we will keep Real Talk Beyond the Headlines alive. Hashtag RTBTH. Hashtag hot takes only. Hashtag you heard it here for the first time ever. Hit us up on social media at Real Talk BTH. You know, that's how we do it. ATL's realest.
Peace.
Peace.